Welcome back for another video. In this video we're going to discuss the best players to buy for our FPL teams. We've got a single game week followed by a double game week followed by a blank game week, so transfer planning is really important at the moment. Let's get into it. Starting with the best goalkeepers, and Alisson is projected to do best in Game Week 24 with 4.3 points. Liverpool home to Burnley, who are second worst after Sheffield United for expected goals this season with 21.9 XG. Over the last 6 game weeks they're also second worst, only Palace have a worse XG over the last 6. If you're looking at a keeper transfer ahead of the double game week 25, then Alisson's the best there is, but he is 5.7 mil. He's 2 points behind Pickford as the second top scoring keeper, and he always seems to be a bit overlooked despite consistently big scores every season. Though he's only worth picking up if your other keeper does play in game week 26 when Liverpool blank. If your backup keeper blanks in game week 26 as well, then Ederson's the next best, projected 4.2 points in game week 24, with City home to Everton and he doesn't blank in 26. He's top among all keepers with projected points over the next 5. He can be a consistently frustrating pick though, as we know. City have got just 1 clean sheet in the last 12 games. The budget pick is Kaminsky. Luton are home to Sheffield United next, which is an excellent fixture. Then he's got double game week 25, albeit against Man United and Liverpool, and then a blank in 26. However, Luton have still got their postponement against Bournemouth to be rearranged, and there's rumours it could go into game week 28. So over the next 5 game weeks, Kaminsky's potentially got the most fixtures of any keeper in the league. Lastly, Flecken doesn't make the table this week, but he had a great game against City, despite the 3-1 loss. He doubles in 25, he doesn't blank in 26, and he doesn't blank in 29. The only box he doesn't tick is a good double game week with Brentford facing Liverpool and City, but there could be a ton of save points again. Despite conceding 3 times against City, he made 12 saves and he finished on 10 points still. Though 3 points coming from an assist, which is a rarity in FPL. The first keeper assist of this season actually. Only 2.3% owned, and he is against Wolves next. Given the immediate doubles, the other keepers are avoids right now, because that's where the keeper transfer should be focused. But if you do have other keepers on this table, then that will help guide you which to start at least. Moving on to the defenders, and for the first time this season we've got a Luton defender top, or joint top with Trent. Doughty's projected 5.1 points against Sheffield United. He's got 72 points this season, he's 4.5 mil, and amazingly he's got 1 goal 7 assists, as many attacking returns as Pedro Porro, 5 returns in his last 5 games. Trent's top among all defenders for points projected over the next 5 game weeks. It's potentially a move you can delay a week though. He got 57 minutes last game week and 22 minutes the week before. He could still be recovering from his injury given the early substitution, though he was struggling against Martinelli, so it might have been tactical last match. He'll be comfortably top of the Game Week 25 projections among defenders, so if he's not on your team, he's someone to strongly consider planning for. Van Dijk's perfectly fine as an alternative for 2.2 mil cheaper, but your best bet is a couple of clean sheets and maybe scoring for set piece, while Trent's got huge upside from multiple sources. Trippier to Trent is a move that makes a lot of sense for double game week 25, perfectly fine to delay a week with Newcastle away to Forest on Saturday. Newcastle's fall off defensively has been a massive surprise. Over the last 6 game weeks they've conceded 18.89 expected goals conceded, which is by far the worst over that run. Next worst is Spurs with 12.01, which is also surprising. Nonetheless, Trippier and Pedro Porro make the table this week. Spurs are home to Brighton next. A pleasant surprise the last couple of game weeks is Pedro Porro's 9 corners taken, while Maddison's taken none. We were expecting Maddison to take corner duties off Pedro Porro on his return, but it's not happened recently. Gabriel and Saliba make the table. They're away to West Ham, and easy picks to start this week with 4 and 3.8 projected points. There's murmurs that Pochettino could revert to a wing-back system after the shock defeat to Wolves. Chelsea have conceded 4+ goals in consecutive league games for the second time under Pochettino, something that hasn't happened in Premier League history for Chelsea prior to his arrival. That would massively suit Chilwell, but in honesty there's other areas to focus transfers on right now. He's one for the watch list. He could be an option if Chelsea don't blank in game week 29 and if they revert to a wing-back system. Walker doesn't quite make the table this week, but he was back in the starting 11 after a bench in the week before. If he starts again versus Everton in game week 24, he could be a great option for their double. On to midfielders, and let's talk about Foden first after a hat-trick versus Brentford for a crazy 20-pointer. He looks an outstanding option for the next few game weeks. He's got Everton home, followed by 2 more home games in double game week 25 against Chelsea and then Brentford again. Foden's been directly involved in 8 goals in his last 6 Premier League games, 4 goals, 4 assists. The good news is that Man City have got the first kick-off of game week 24, so there's a fair chance of some early team news. So make sure you subscribe for the deadline stream, we'll be keeping an eye out. Foden's projected 5.2 points this week, and KDB 5.8. Any concerns of KDB's fitness alleviated after he played the full 90 against Brentford, picking up an assist for Foden's second goal. So Jota tops the midfielder projections for game week 24 with 6.1 points. With Salah's availability still uncertain, he's a top transfer this week. One of the best fixtures Liverpool are going to have all season. He's a nailed-on starter in Salah's absence, and even on his return he probably will be. If you've got someone like Bowen, then switching to Jota or Foden is an obvious move this week, with West Ham facing Arsenal. Gordon was seen leaving the stadium on crutches after an injury last match. If he's confirmed out for Gameweek24, then that's another easy player to sell if you've got the funds. Richarlison's projected with 5.9 points against Brighton, and he's a contender for captaincy this week against a generally leaky Brighton defence. Could be a great watch this one given their playstyles. It was a game week of over-performances, Richarlison's brace coming from 0.75 xg, Cunha's hat-trick from 1.19 xg, and Foden's hat-trick from 0.68 xg. Barkley doesn't make the table, he's projected 4.1 points, but he could be a great option for the next 2 game weeks, a 13 pointer against Newcastle, and a much better fixture this week, and then double game week 25 to follow. Garnacho's the other budget mid worth a mention, only 4.8 mil, and he got a brace against West Ham for a 16-point haul. These are the types of players that might be needed to free up the funds, particularly if you want De Bruyne or Salah in game week 25. Onto the forwards then, and back on top of the table for the first time in a good month or so is Haaland with 6.6. That puts him top for game week 24 among all players, Darwin second with 6.2, and then it's Jota who was projected 6.1, and then Richarlison with 5.8. It's the opportune entry point if you've not got Haaland and a priority transfer this week. Again, it's a move you can delay until the deadline day if you're able to wait for hopeful confirmation of a start, but it looks all but certain against the physical Everton defence. A big question this week is whether Watkins or Solanke are worth selling for Darwin. At face value, Watkins and Solanke are unbelievable picks, and they could smash it over the next 2. It's just whether Darwin can outscore them over that run. Watkins has got Man United home, Solanke's got Fulham away, Darwin's got Burnley home, so a better fixture this week for Darwin. Game week 25, Watkins has got Fulham away, Solanke's got Newcastle away, and then Darwin's got Brentford and Luton in his double. Again, better fixtures for Darwin. And then there's the potential transfer path where you bring whoever you sell straight back into your team in game week 26 when Liverpool blank. It's certainly an upside chasing move, and it does have risk, and there's probably sacrifices in your team value involved as well. Though points are what ultimately matter, so consider it an opportunity. Let us know in the comments whether this is a move you're weighing up, or whether there's no chance you're selling either. Wolves have actually scored more goals than anyone over the last 6 game weeks, and they face Brentford next. Cunha is 4th on the table after Harwin, Darwin and Watkins with 5.2 points, off the back of his hat-trick. He's 5.7 mil, and he's an enabler to consider, again if you're looking to upgrade other players to double gaming assets. Tony's projected 4.6 points this week, another consideration for the coming double. Darwin versus Tony is a really tough call. If you've got a player or 2 that's injured and you've got lots of players that blank in game week 26, then Tony's the more logical pick given he doesn't blank. Count up how many players you've got without a game and then plan ahead. You don't want to get to the blank of 6 players blanking and someone injured, etc. Or you'll be facing multiple hits and then undoing all the potential gains you've made. A notch below Cunha in the budget forward bracket is Adebayo, only 4.9 mil, and he's projected 4.3 points this week against Sheffield United. Sheffield United have conceded 59 goals in their 23 Premier League games this season, the most of any side in Premier League history at this stage. Thanks very much for watching. If this was helpful, hit subscribe and drop it a like. There's more great FPL content to come every day this week. See you soon for the next one.